lectures. And before I get into today's lecture, I just want to remind everyone to make sure you mark your calendar for June the 24th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to do another relational live stream lecture. And the focus of that lecture is going to be, I'm going to give a lot of insight on many of the things I continue to do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and on a yearly basis to grow my channel. You know, my channel, January or next year, my channel will make 3 years that it's been monetized. My channel earned the YouTube Silver Play button January of 2024, and my channel became eligible for major brand deals August of 2024. So there are, you know, and I work harder now than ever before as a content creator to continue to push my channel into the next stratosphere. So with that being said, let's get on down to today's very important lecture, which is who can see your consumer report, aka credit score. You know, I love doing these type of topics because anything dealing with your financial health, to include your credit score, is one of the core foundations of my channel, my brand, my company, Real Talk People. And, you know, I don't care if you're in your 20s, I don't care if you're 100 years old, you know, your credit score plays an impact in every area of your life. You know, my credit score has been at an 849, 850 for years, but trust me, you know, when I was living in my financial destruction from 2007 to 2012, my credit score was an all-time low at 340. Real Talk People. So consumer reporting companies must follow legal restrictions. And when I say consumer reporting companies, I'm talking about Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. They must follow legal restrictions, but generally can provide consumer reports, meaning your credit report, and risk scores to an area of many of type of businesses, including such as lenders, including those that offer credit card, home, payday, personal or personnel, title, auto, including auto leasing, student loans, security deposit financing, lease guarantees on rental homes, and buy now, pay later type situations. You know, all of those type of stakeholders are pulling your credit report, people. Real talk. They can see your credit report because that information is being provided by those three major credit bureaus: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Employers, employers and volunteer organizations can see your credit report. You know, pre-employment screening and ongoing employee monitoring. Companies and jobs are monitoring your credit report, people. This is real talk. You know, I've known a lot of people with the credentials, the knowledge and skills, because now many employers are running your credit report in terms of in relation to the pre-employment process. Government agencies can look at your credit score to determine eligibility for government assistance. You know, like I said, this here, your credit score, and I talk about this in my book, In Awake Financial Freedom, in one of my chapters, in regards to how I rose my credit score from a 340 to well over 800 way back then when I was in financial destruction, people. This topic also ties into the whole testimony of my book title, Awake Financial Freedom. You know, there are people in their 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, credit score messed up, jacked up. You know, so who else can see your credit scores? Landlords. And residential real estate management can see that score. Companies for short and long-term residential and property rental can see that credit score. This is having an impact on blocking people from getting that home, from get pre-approved for that apartment that they trying to get. It can you because I'm telling you, this thing is real. Banks and credit unions can see your credit score. Payment processors and retail stores that accept personal checks can see your credit score. This is real, people. This is having an impact on everyday people, and it's blocking them. But you know what? I tell folks, in order to fix your credit score, you got to claim ownership for the mess. You got to claim ownership for the mess. Companies that market and sell certain products and services specifically to lower income consumers can see your credit report. When people apply for those credit applications, those stakeholders are pulling your credit report, such as companies providing short-term lending and rent-to-own lending businesses, among others. All of those type of entities are pulling your credit report. And if a person's credit score is jiked up, messed up, that stakeholder will not do business with you. Debt buyers and debt collectors can see your credit report. When people go default on a debt, or a foreclosure, go default on vehicle notes, credit cards, that debt is sold to debt collectors and debt buyers so they can see that credit report. Insurance companies, and a lot of people don't think about this, insurance companies pulling your credit report. Insurance companies such as health insurance, life insurance, property insurance screenings, all pulling that credit report. And if your credit score is low, it can have an impact on that company not doing business with you, meaning they ain't got to sell you that health insurance, life insurance, property insurance screening, because when they look at your credit score, it's so bad to the point what that's showing you now, you're a risk factor, you're a liability. Then you're gonna have to go elsewhere. These insurance companies, people, the health, the life, the property insurance screenings are pulling your credit report. Telecommunication and utility companies are pulling your credit report. Mobile, phone pay, the internet, pay TV, electric, gas, water, all of those stakeholders are pulling your credit report. And if your credit score is low, they ain't no do business with you, or you may have to get a cosigner. This is real talk. Retail stores for product return fraud, abuse screening, as well as retail stores that offer financing, such as appliances and rent-to-own businesses, among others, are pulling your credit score. Gaming establishments and casinos that extend credit to consumers or to accept that personal check are pulling your credit score, people. This is real talk. All of these establishments, all of these stakeholders, has a direct impact on many areas of a person's life, because any full-grown adult is going to need to do business with many of these stakeholders that I just rattled off: lenders, employers, governmental agencies, landlords, rental properties, banks, credit unions, companies that market and sell certain products, pulling your credit report, debt buyers and debt collectors, insurance companies, health, life insurance, property insurance screening, telecommunication, electrical, gas, internet, etc., retail stores, all of these different stakeholders that I talked about. If you are a full-grown adult, you are going to need to do business with many of the ones that I talked about. And if your credit score is jacked up, if your credit score is bad, they're going to consider you as a high risk, and they are not going to extend you those services. And I'm going to tell you something. People ain't co-signing like they used to anymore, because if the person who co-signed, whoever they co-signing for, number one, their credit already messed up. That's an indication of financial irresponsibility. If your credit score messed up, it ain't got that way by itself. So people ain't signing in terms of co-signing anymore, because if you go default on that bill, that co-signer is going to be responsible for those financial obligations in order to protect their credit. And I'm keeping this real. I ain't jeopardizing my credit for nobody. But what I will do is I will educate a person on what they need to do to go through the process. That's in a whole nother lecture. To educate them in terms of the process they need to go through to fix their credit. I'm going to empower, I'm going to educate, I'm going to spit that knowledge. And if they choose not to utilize that knowledge that I give them to improve their credit score so they can do business with one of these stakeholders, that's on them. Because I'm going to tell you something, I will be forever grateful for God for giving me the knowledge, skills, and the ability to rise above my financial situation way back in 2011. I'm here to tell you, because my credit score is messed up in all areas. I was default on everything. My credit score was at an all-time 340. And when I got tired of living like that, God gave me the skills to write my book. And I really still use my own book as a powerful resource to sustain my financial health. I talk about my spiritual battle in one of these chapters. I talk about one of my chapters. I literally got the title in one of my chapters way back then when I rose my credit score from a 340 to an 800. My chapter 5, the title of that chapter is literally 800 credit score. Wow. Way back then. I've been at an 850 now for years. And no, it did not take me years to raise my credit score from a 340 to an 800. I did it less than a year with the skills that I used when I went through that spiritual battle with God. And God gave me the skills to rise above my situation. And I was about my business, people. And I took the steps to handle my business to raise my credit score from a 340 to an 800 way back then. This is real talk. And you better believe my credit score has been phenomenal from 2011 all the way up to now, as I rose out of my financial destruction in 2011. And you better believe I still take care of the steps to maintain my credit score, to protect my credit score. Real talk, people. Because it's a powerful thing when I'm looking at. And I'm always checking with Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian 2 or 3 times a year to monitor my credit report, because there's so much fraud going on. It's fraud going on all over the world. So I make it my business a good 3 or 4 times a year to monitor my credit score, because I got an 850, people. You take the highest you can go is 850. And that's a powerful thing. But what's even more powerful, and I talk about this in my book, it is not about the money you make. It is about who you owe. And I can look on all 3 of my credit reports, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, and it literally says, and it's been this way for years, my debt is 0. I owe nobody nothing. I don't have no car notes, no mortgage, no school loans, no vehicle loan, no medical bills, no defaults, no credit card. I have 0. It literally says on my credit report, my debt is 0. So that means with all of my retirement income I get on a monthly basis, because I have 0 debt, I'm literally able to reinvest 100% of my retirement income into another retirement income. In September of this year, I made 2 full years that I have been retired. The state of North Carolina has been sending me my retirement checks now going on for 2 years. I have not touched the money because I don't need the money. I've been reinvesting all of my retirement income for almost 2 years into another retirement account. That's because I have zero debt, people. This is real talk. That debt to income ratio also plays a role in your credit report, because what that shows is that you know how to manage your money, master your money. You have mastered the skills of financial management and financial health. Real talk. There are people right now in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. You got a lot of people in retirement, 60, 70 years old, credit score at 300 because their debt is so high. They so deep in debt that their retirement income gone before they even get it. That's real talk, people. I'm telling you, I tell anybody, the first step into cleaning up your credit report is you got to claim responsibility. You got to own ownership for your debt and seek out resources, because I'm telling you, the credit bureaus, they have so much information in regards to the steps that you got to take to address this issue. I didn't pay anybody to fix my credit score. No, I set my behind down way back from 2007 to 2012, and I used my skills, people. And I talk about some of those steps I took to raise my credit score back then from a 340 to 800. It worked for me. It sure did. By evidence, when I now go on my credit report, it's reflecting 850, and it's been at 850 for years, people. Real talk. So share this information. Somebody might need to hear this information in terms of who can see your consumer report, aka credit report. You might just be one of the people who need to hear it. Share this information and mark your calendar for June the 24th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another one of my relational live stream lectures. Either way it go, I'm going to be ready to get down to business. Simplify, Simple Fidelis, and I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great day.